Yeah, I do commercials, I run.
Thank you for joining us. We are live here at Mountain View High School in Mountain View, Wyoming, where the Mountain View Buffaloes are going to be taking on the Thermopolis Bobcats in a rematch of a regular season matchup that we saw earlier this year. It was a 31-8 result for Mountain View. Head coach Brent Walk and the Mountain View Buffalo fans are going to be hoping for the same result this time around. Also on their home field, Thermopolis, and a group of fans made the trip. Once again, due to WHSSA rules, we will be audio broadcasting this football game only. If you are wanting to watch something on video, go inside and watch the volleyball streams live on mylocalradio.com. We have those video streams up working right now. My colleague Val Cook is broadcasting those. I'll be back inside for the semifinals later today and all of the action tomorrow for volleyball. So don't worry, I'm not done with volleyball for this tournament. Unfortunately, I will probably miss the Mountain View volleyball match, but my colleague Val Cook will be broadcasting that one. So Mountain View hoping that it's a good day for their sports, their athletics teams, as the football team is playing in the state playoffs, the opening round at home, and Mountain View hosting the regionals of volleyball will play later today. Kickoff, first serve for that one, expected to be around 2:30 p.m., and then the final game of the day for Mountain View. If they win, they would play again in the semifinal of the volleyball regionals. So Mountain View hoping to go 3-0 today amongst their own teams, amongst their different sports. So hopefully Mountain View, it's a good day. It could be a really good day or a really bad day, but we don't want to think about the latter. We want to think about the former in that scenario. So I talked to head coach Brent Walk earlier this week, and I talked to him earlier today on the field, and he said it's pretty simple. You just have to go out and you have to play Mountain View football. He said we play Mountain View football 7 days a week. It should not be any different this day around. And he hopes that his team is ready. He said with an experienced group, a group that was there last year for the most part and won the state title last year behind Kimball Matson and Brent Walk. He said, I don't think we have any nerves. I don't think we have a need to be worried in this matchup. I think that both teams will be excited and ready to play. But after already beating Thermopolis 31-8, he said he just hopes his players do not take their foot off the gas pedal. Usually not a problem for head coach Brent Walk. As we saw last week, multiple 80-yard touchdown scores, a 69-yard touchdown score in that game, and I believe a 56 or 57-yard touchdown. So a lot of long scores last week. We're hoping to see some of the same. If you're a Mountain View fan, Thermopolis hoping to batten down that defense and not allow those long touchdown passes or runs that we saw last week, including that Ashton Schofield 85-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. That was something to watch as he just kind of scampered along the sideline, tiptoed, stayed in bounds, looked like he might have gone out of bounds, but he tiptoed along and then regained his balance and just was gone down the sideline like a blur. No one was going to catch Ashton Schofield when he is in open space on a kick return. So both teams looking to be ready to go here. Both teams waiting to come back out on the field. We are about 10 minutes away from kickoff here on mylocalradio.com. Thank you for tuning in to all of our Mountain View and Bridger sports action. If you're flipping back and forth between this and the volleyball matches inside, we really do appreciate you tuning in and listening, watching, and really caring about our My Local Radio broadcast this week. So the referees are huddled up on the field, just ready to go here. We'll try to see if we can find out who won the coin toss, who will take the ball. Usually Mountain View likes to defer. Last week, remember, Grable took the ball after winning the toss. Did not turn out really well for them. As on that first drive, they drove all the way down the field, but they wound up turning it over on downs, and Mountain View scored, I think, the second or third play of their offense of game. So we'll try to figure out who has the ball to start off this game. We're less than 10 minutes away from kickoff here on mylocalradio.com. The crowd is ready. The players are ready. We will be back with some football action on mylocalradio.com.
Hello, Hello, this is Dr. McKay Frankham. As a dentist in Evanston for over 20 years now, my mission has always been to provide quality dental care for people of all ages at reasonable prices. I'm a detail-oriented person, and it's important to me to stay current on new dental procedures and protocols that can help my patients have the best experience and have the best results. Over the years, I've also worked to keep my overhead low so that I can pass those savings on to my patients. I believe everyone deserves quality dental care. Please call us today at 307-789-8910.
My name is Dr. Micah Pullins. I'm an orthopedic surgeon at Evanston Regional Hospital. I perform total hip, total knee, and total shoulder replacement. The huge majority of patients of mine that have undergone total joint replacement have been dealing with pain and disability for many years. After joint replacement and recovery, patients are back to doing the activities that they want to do.
Well, the cheerleaders are on the side of the field. Head coach Brett Walk has made his entrance along the track, and the players are ready to storm the field here, as are we. We are ready for some football action. It's been a while. It's been a week since our last game where we covered Mountain View defeating Grable in what was basically a championship game between two top teams out of the West. Mountain View easily took that one. They are hoping to make that playoff atmosphere continue into this week. As the football team on the track, jumping up and down, ready to go. They will break through the banner out in the end zone, and here come the Mountain View Buffaloes. State title winners from last season. They will look to defend that state title as they pass the purple buffalo, and they slam the sledgehammer right into midfield. Probably not good for the turf, but it is tradition here, so that's what happens. Mountain View going to wear the traditional purple and gray uniforms today, looking sharp as ever as their team comes off to the sideline. Thermopolis has still not found their way out to the field yet. And here come the Thermopolis coaches on the sideline, so just as I say that, they seem to be ready to be coming out across in the field. Mountain View 5 minutes away from kickoff here. Mountain View lined up ready for the national anthem. We're just waiting for the other team to come out on the field, and the Bobcats and the Buffaloes should be a good one. These two teams not unfamiliar with each other. They have played each other earlier this year. Fourth time in the last 5 years these two teams are playing against each other, including earlier this year when it was a 31-8 victory. Thermopolis has made their way out onto the field. They're crossing the field, and they are ready to go. Their fans hop on their feet and cheer for their visiting Bobcats, who had to win last week, just like Mountain View, but they had to win for a different purpose. They had to win to get into the state playoffs. Mountain View already knew that they were in, regardless of the result. They were just fighting for that #1 seed. Both teams won last week, so a little bit of momentum coming off the games, and it should be a good one. We'll take a commercial during the national anthem when it is sung, and we will join us when we return on mylocalradio.com for the start of some football action.
LED sign from Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. It's a proven fact that signage that lights up creates more attention. So light it up and then add text, images, and video, and your sign becomes even more powerful. Start sharing your advertising messages and information with your customers today. The team at Rocky Mountain Sign provides all types of quality signage that is custom built and maintained. Call today for a free quote. Rocky Mountain Sign, 307-789-5202. Rocky Mountain Sign, serving customers in Wyoming, Utah, and Idaho.
Bring your vehicle for service at Rocky Mountain Yeti and feel the difference. It's easy. Visit with one of the friendly service riders and then relax and enjoy hot waffles and ice cream. While you relax Yeti style, your vehicle will be worked on by our experienced mechanics. From regular maintenance to major repairs, we do it all. Have your service work done at Rocky Mountain Yeti in Evanston and feel the difference. Get Yeti'd today.
Ooh, yeah.
100 Wasatch Road in Evanston.
In addition to local information and the best live coverage of local sports, You can stream music 24/7 at mylocalradio.com. Log on and choose the music you like best. Classic or modern country, indie, adult contemporary, or classic rock. Stream it live through your computer or cell phone. Listen to the music you want and don't miss the information you need. Like us on Facebook and visit mylocalradio.com today.
Dr. Dog, the other day I was at the dog park and ran into Keegan, the Irish setter from up the road. When we smelled hello, I was surprised because he smelled like delicious roasted duck. When I asked if he'd been hunting, he said nein, he had been to see you.
Yes, Mr. Hans German Shepherd, I'm recommending Canine Superfood Advanced from PetMinerals.com for all my canine patients. The powder mixes with your dog food to create a delicious duck-flavored gravy. Order your Superfood Advanced from PetMinerals.com today.
Serving Wyoming since 1941, Plains Tire is Wyoming's oldest and largest tire dealer with great locations throughout the state. They'll get you the right tires and offer the best results for your vehicle at the lowest prices, guaranteed. Plus, you can go to any Plains Tire Pro dealer with their nationwide warranty service. And check out their Plains Tire phone app.
Come down and see us at Plains Tires on 157 Bear River Drive for all your automotive needs. Hablamos también español.
Right back into action here as another beautiful rendition of the national anthem from a student here in the press box.
For the Thermopolis Bobcats.
And the Thermopolis starting lineups will be read.
At linebacker, number 83, Jeffrey Vanantwerp.
Linebacker number 3, Jeffrey Vanantwerp.
Line, number 63, Tyson Tobar.
Tyson Tobar making the start at offensive line and defensive line. Chandler Maddock. He'll be a linebacker and a running back.
At linebacker, number 4, John Harvey.
John Harvey is going to be a linebacker. Ethan Becker, number 22. Jaron Mortimer is going to be a defensive lineman. Dustin Harvey will get a start at defensive back.
Number 12, Cade McLean.
Cade McLean is going to be a starter.
Number 2, Blake Williams.
Blake Williams will be a defensive back.
Number 64, Remington Faree.
Remington Faree is going to be a big part of this Thermopolis defensive line. Logan Cole and Hiram Rich both starting at that defensive line. Going to be a big change for this Thermopolis team facing a team like Mountain View. Mountain View Buffalo's starter is going to be announced here to the home crowd.
Number 2, Braden
Head coach Brent Walk going to go with his son Braden as the starter as usual. Braden will get the start. He'll throw about a couple passes, 3 passes, and then Kimball Madsen will come in and be the quarterback. They'll switch off back and forth in the game.
Receiver, number 15, Ashton Schofield.
Ashton Schofield's going to start.
At receiver, number 19, Kimball Madsen.
Kimball Madsen, quarterback and wide receiver. He will start. Trevor Sweeney, the junior, is going to start.
On offensive line, number 50.
Hunter Gross, the 6'2", 190-pound junior, will be big for this offensive and defensive line for this Mountain View Buffalo team. Number 59 is going to be a starter from Mountain View. That is none other than Tyson Condos. Tyson Condos, a 5'10", 230-pound senior. Some of those numbers don't add up, but Tyson Condos, a big boy. He might not be the tallest, but he is strong at 230 pounds. So certainly look out for some of these names from the Mountain View Buffaloes and the Thermopolis Bobcats today, as both teams will look to win today. Thermopolis, the number 1 seed. Mountain View, the number 1 seed. Thermopolis, the number 4 seed in today's state playoff game. So once again, if you're just tuning in, maybe didn't read the description of the video like my girlfriend probably did not, Love you, Courtney. Due to WHSSA restrictions, we would have to pay $500 if we wanted to be video streaming this game, so it was not worth it. We did not have advertisers lined up to pay for this first opening round game, so we're going to be audio streaming only today. Unfortunately, no video streaming, but just use my voice as a guide and maybe draw some pictures and send them to me, or send them to us at my local radio station, KNYN Radio out of Evanston. Send them in. Send pictures. You know, if you have a little child, just put the radio next to a piece of paper and just let your child describe it and draw it and send it to us. We'll post it on our Facebook page if you do that. Mountain View is going to kick off here. And the kick goes to about the Thermopolis 10-yard line where they return it. This one's going to be returned out to the 25-yard line. Still going is Thermopolis. Not tackled yet, but he is finally brought down. That's going to be around the... Let's see where it was spotted. It looks like it's going to be around the 32, 33-yard line. So an advantageous starting field position for Thermopolis on the kick return of about 23 yards there. So 11:51 to go in the first quarter. Still tied at 0. First play of the football game. That to happen for Thermopolis. Thermopolis in the I formation. Two backers behind the quarterback. Under center, he's going to drop back. He's going to hand it off to the right side. That's going to be a run up the right side, right on the hash mark. In for the tackle is number 59, Hunter Gross, Tyson Condos, Tyson Condos in on the tackle amongst others for Mountain View. 2nd and 10 after the gain of none on first down. So first play on defense for Mountain View in this state playoff football game. Turns out to be a successful one. That's going to be a handoff to the left side, trying to cut back over the seam. They're going to gain a couple yards here on second down, but still going to bring up a 3rd and long here for Thermopolis as they just tried to run through that Mountain View defensive line. Usually not a good idea. 3rd and 6 after a gain of 4. Ball is placed at the 36 or 37-yard line of Thermopolis. Looks like Mountain View is going to bring the pressure here on 3rd and 6. Their safeties kind of back off, so maybe just a false sense of pressure, but they do charge in here at the last second. Let's see. They do. It's going to be a handoff to the right side, a sweep to their wide receiver, and he's right at the line of scrimmage. He's right at the line to gain, and he is going to be short. So Thermopolis tried to go a sweep around the outside to Blake Williams, the wide receiver, junior wide receiver, and he got the ball, but Mountain View bringing both of their safeties on a double safety blitz, kind of an all-out blitz. The officials are going to have to measure this. It is close enough, I suppose, and is going to be short by about a half a yard. So still a 4th down here for Thermopolis. Their offense is on the field. The chains have not been reset yet, however, so we'll have to see if Thermopolis indeed does go for it. On their own 36-yard line, less than 2 minutes into the game. 3 plays, 3 runs have gained about 9.5 yards for Thermopolis. Nobody has moved on the Thermopolis offense in the huddle, so it seems like they might be going for it here on 4th and less than a yard at the 43-yard line of Mountain View. In the I formation once again. 2 backers behind the quarterback, and he's going to take this one right up the middle, pound it on a quarterback sneak, and he's going to gain a couple yards there, and a 1st down. Colby Reese in on the tackle, All-State lineman from last year, hoping to repeat that honor this year. I think he has done enough to earn him All-State honors. We'll have to see at the end of the year how that voting comes down, but I believe Colby Reese certainly has put up the numbers. He's averaging about 11 tackles a game at least, so we'll have to see what the voting turns out to be there. This is going to be a fake handoff. He's going to give it to the fullback up the middle, and that fullback is going to pound his way for a gain of 7 yards on first down. So it looked like in the I formation again, he was going to hand it off or pitch it to the running back, but he stuck it right in the gut of his fullback, who is right behind the quarterback, and he got a gain of about 6 to 7 yards on first down. So Thermopolis is 2nd and 3 here at the Mountain View 45-yard line. Less than 3 minutes gone from this contest. Williams in motion, the wide receiver. He's going to go out to the right side. He's going to remain in the backfield, looking over towards his coach. And they're going to call a timeout. Thermopolis will take a timeout, and so will we on mylocalradio.com. Please join us after this commercial break.
Dr. Dog, the other day I was at the dog park and ran into Keegan, the Irish setter from up the road. When we smelled hello, I was surprised because he smelled like delicious roasted duck. When I asked if he'd been hunting, he said nein, he had been to see you.
Yes, Mr. Hans German Shepherd, I'm recommending Canine Superfood Advance from PetMinerals.com for all my canine patients. The powder mixes with your dog food to create a delicious duck-flavored gravy. Order your Superfood Advance from PetMinerals.com today.
Back here at Mountain View, where the teams are back out on the field after a short timeout. 9:10 to play in quarter number 1. We are still scoreless. This is the first drive of the contest. WHSSA State Playoffs, round number 1. And this is going to be a handoff to the right side, trying to follow his blockers unsuccessfully there. Looks like no gain on second down on the run. Tyson Condo's in on another tackle for Mountain View. And it is third down once again for Thermopolis. They are already 0 for 1 on third downs after failing to convert on the last one. Ball is at the Mountain View 47-yard line, 3rd and 3 for Thermopolis. Looks like they're in the shotgun for this time, for this snap, rather. John Harvey, the quarterback, he's going to pitch it. He's going to run it to the right side. Excuse me, he faked the pitch and ran it to the right side, and he got a first down. Looked like everyone was going left. And I'm not sure if that was an option or a read or if that was a design run from the quarterback, but he faked the pitch to the left when it looked like everybody was going left on his offense and the defense, and he kind of just bootlegged himself out to the right side and found room for a gain of about 5 yards on third down there. And that's a first down conversion there for Thermopolis, the second one on this drive for the Bobcats. That's a 1st and 10 at the Mountain View 44-yard line. In motion again is the wide receiver. He's going to take the sweep again. He's going to cut to the left side, jumping over a tackler, and there's going to be a flag coming down late as he's brought to the ground. Looks like it's going to be a holding and come back against Thermopolis. Right on the outside, it's a holding. Usually when you get those wide receivers running around the outside of a block, that last blocker, that big man, it's hard for them to contain that defense. And sure enough, that's what happened here, is the wide receiver kind of motioned around the outside, took the sweep. Blake Williams and the offensive lineman kind of went downfield and held his guy and tried to hold that edge and not let that defensive line from Mountain View get around him and stop him at the line of scrimmage. They did gain about 10 yards, but it will be called back because of the holding. The ball is now at midfield. It'll be a 1st and about 17. It is a spot foul, so it's 10 yards from the spot. They said it was about 3 yards above the line of scrimmage, so it's 1st and 17. It's going to be a pitch in the backfield to the right side, trying to cut up to the middle of the field, and he's going to be brought down at the line of scrimmage. No gain there was Chandler Maddock. Chandler Maddock stood up there, and it's 2nd and 15. Gain of maybe a yard. Half a yard to a yard there on first down. And the ball is now at the Mountain View 49-yard line, 2nd and 15 for the Bobcats. Shotgun looking to throw to his left, turns and throws to his right instead, and immediately stacked up there is once again Blake Williams. So he is playing a major part of this Thermopolis offense so far. It was a good job containing there from Mountain View as the running back kind of ran out to the left side, and he was almost looked like a screen pass, and the quarterback was just hopping up and down in the backfield, just looking at him, waited, and then he tried to bait the defense, follow him, and say, oh, look, this is a screen, you can blow this up. And instead, he just turned around, did a 180, and turned back to his wide receiver, but unfortunately for him, he was stacked up at the line of scrimmage after making the catch. It's going to be a run to the near side on the left side, and that's going to be a gain of about, maybe a gain of 9 on third down. We'll bring up fourth and about 4 or 5 here inside of the Mountain View 40-yard line. Ball is at the Mountain View 37-yard line. The line to gain is the 33-yard line, so it's fourth and about 4. And there is a foul on the play. There is a penalty on Thermopolis. I did not see the flag on the field. There is a flag on Thermopolis. They're going to accept this one, another holding on that Thermopolis offensive line. And this one will back it up way back. It is now third in a country mile. Not sure if that is an exact number description, but that's what it feels like, because the ball is at their own 41-yard line. Once again, the line to gain is the Mountain View 33. So just by some quick math, you got to get 36 yards here on, 26 yards on third down. Maybe make it fourth and manageable, and you'll try to go for it. Referee in the back line is going to signal a delay game here. You can see that coming as they were motioning in the backfield. And the quarterback actually came to the wide receiver, and he was kind of pointing him. He was like, hey, you're lined up in the wrong position. Meanwhile, the back judge was just standing there, sticking his hands out in the air, meaning, hey, you got a countdown. This is the play clock. There's no play clocks on the field, but you always have to be watching that back official. If he's sticking out his hands, you know how much time you should have remaining, about 5-10 seconds. And quarterback was just not ready for it, and it's going to be a timeout Thermopolis. So not sure why they didn't call a timeout if they're going to call one now to save themselves that 5 yards, but it will be a 3rd and 30 coming out of this break on mylocalradio.com.
Bring your vehicle for service at Rocky Mountain Yeti and feel the difference. It's easy. Visit with one of the friendly service riders and then relax and enjoy hot waffles and ice cream. While you relax Yeti style, your vehicle will be worked on by our experienced mechanics. From regular maintenance to major repairs, we do it all. Have your service work done at Rocky Mountain Yeti in Evanston and feel the difference. Get Yeti'd today.
Ooh, yeah.
100 Wasatch Road in Evanston.
Well, you're going to need to go way back in the playbook to find a play that will convert on 3rd and 30, which is what Thermopolis is set up here at their own 36. The line to gain is the Mountain View 33-yard line, so it looked like they would have had 4th and short, but instead they now have 3rd and 30 after multiple penalties in a row. In the shotgun formation, once again, they're going to motion Blake Williams across. John Harvey scrolling around trying to escape pressure. He does. He gets past the line of scrimmage, and he's going to be swallowed up after a gain of, looks like 8 yards there. So he had to survive a sack there. It looked like the Mountain View defense was converging on him. He was able to sneak through past the defensive lineman, Colby Reese, and he was able to cut it back towards midfield. But unfortunately for Thermopolis, he was stopped at his own 44-yard line, still well short of the first down marker. About 23 yards shy, and it will be 4th and 23, and Thermopolis will punt, trying to change fields here with 5 minutes to go in quarter number 1. Lining up to kick there is Dustin Harvey, and that one will go sideways, out of bounds, right about the 30-yard line. That is where they will mark it, is at the Mountain View 30-yard line, so head coach Brent Walk will have his offense come out on the field looking to maybe get some different results than the 0-0 scoreline should proceed. as Thermopolis wastes 7 minutes and 3 seconds on their first drive of this game. We'll have to see if that's Thermopolis' game plan, just shorten this game, maybe make it a possession game, because Mountain View does not waste any time on the field. They will hurry up and they will score in a hurry. That's going to be a run up the middle for about a couple yards there on first down. That's the first play of the game for Mountain View. Goes for several yards there. Second and 8 at their own 32-yard line, Mountain View. Kimbo Madsen back at quarterback. So as I said, they will rotate quarterbacks rather quickly. And he will look to throw down the right side, looking for his wide receiver, number 4, Trevor Sweeney. Goes off of his fingertips as he had to turn around, kind of turn around the wrong shoulder there. And it fell to the carpet, incomplete. But there is a flag on the field. There is a flag on the field. Usually in the vicinity of holding. Let's see what the call is. They did ask Thermopolis player what he wants to do, so that usually means it is on the opposing team. So Thermopolis will accept the holding penalty, and Mountain View is backed up just as Thermopolis was. So take that off the board. It will be, again, a second down play here, and it will be second and about 18 as the 10-yard holding penalty backs him up. Kimbo Madsen in the backfield. As I said in the pregame show, Brent Walk will take the first snap, but usually Madsen takes the next 10 or 12. So Madsen's going to roll out to his left, and he's going to try to cut back to the right side of the field. He's met in the backfield by a Thermopolis defender, and that's going to be a sack. And a huge sack there. Oren Coyne gets into the backfield and wrangles Madsen down, and that's a loss of about 5 yards. On second down. This is going to bring up third and about 20. Let's see, the ball's at the 15. They have to get to the 40, so that's going to make it a 25-yard gain here. They're going to need to convert this to third down. Third and 25, back to snap. Madsen's going to throw it deep to the right side, and he's caught it at midfield. Wide receiver, number 21, Bryson Walker. This sophomore comes up huge as that throw was a perfect throw down the right sideline, down the Mountain View sideline, right at the 50-yard line. Sweeney turned around, put his breadbasket out, and that thing was laid perfectly in there. A huge first down there. He is tackled after running for a few yards, and the ball is at the Thermopolis 41-yard line now. So a huge gain there of about 44 yards on third and 25. It's going to be a run to the left side, handoff, and that will be a gain of about, let's call it 6 on first down from Ashton Schofield. Chandler Maddock, amongst others, in on the tackle, the linebacker, senior linebacker for Thermopolis. In the shotgun formation goes Madsen again. He has been perfect pretty much so far. And this can be a handoff straight up the gut, and there's a flag on the play that will stop the play, maybe a false start. A false start or an illegal formation will blow this play dead, so let's see. It is a false start on Mountain View, so they're going to back it up. It was second and 3. It will now be a second and about 8. So those are penalties. Head coach Brent Walk. You know, there's a glass window in front of us, but you can almost hear Brent Walk shouting at his players that is unacceptable. On a second and 3, it looked like a run up the middle. Let's see if they change their game plan. They will. Madsen's going to scroll out to his right after a fake handoff. He's going to throw it down the sideline, and he throws it just a little bit too far. Intended for Bryson Walker again. They figure we went to him on third and 25 and picked up 44. Let's go for it again. He was open on the sideline, one-on-one coverage, kind of had his man beat by a step, but the throw was more towards the sideline. He was kind of working up the numbers, and the ball fell incomplete. Third and 8 now from the Thermopolis 39-yard line, Mountain View. Let's see if they go for it here on fourth down. If there is a fourth down, they're trying to convert this third down. Back in the shotgun formation. And the ball hits the turf, coming up to get it. They're going to need to scramble this one. Kimball Madsen picks it up. He runs towards the right sideline, and he's got a first down and more. Madsen breaking across the 35, the 30 to the 25-yard line. So I don't know if the ball hit the center's knee or something like that coming out, but the ball just trickled out, rolling, and Madsen, lucky enough, saw the ball on the ground, did not dive on it, because if he dove on it and he hit the ground, or if his knee was down when he picked it up, the play is dead, just like in college. So smart enough to pick it up on the run, and he ran right towards the right sideline where he got it for a first down. That's going to be a run up the middle and near another first down there on a first down carry. Brigham Blumel, first time I've said his name today, he will be a major factor. He scored 3 touchdowns last week. Brigham Blumel, a major factor for this Mountain View offense. He can catch the ball and he can run it. He's listed as a running back, but they have no qualms about him going out to catch a pass. Madsen in the backfield, stiff arms the defender. He's going to work his way back towards the end zone. And let's see what the spot is. It looks like they got him a first down. So Kimball Madsen is caught in the backfield, stiff-armed his defender, threw him away. And that is a first down for Mountain View. So Mountain View can still pick up another first down. It is 1st and 10 at the Thermopolis 11-yard line. Ticum Picola warming up, by the way, on the sideline. Kicker for Mountain View. And it's going to be a run to the right side. Brigham Blumel nearly untouched into the end zone. That's a touchdown for Mountain View. A run to the right side, and he kind of just found a gap right about the numbers, and he kind of did stiff arm a guy, kind of stuck his hand out, so he might have been touched in that aspect, but it was pretty easy there for Brigham Blumel as he walked into the end zone for the first score of this game, 6-0. Mountain View leading. Ticum Picola, the kicker, going to line this one up. He's one of the better kickers in this state. There aren't that many that can routinely make it, but he is a field goal kicker as well. He's a soccer player, has never played a down of football before this year. The kick is up. The kick is good. So Ticum Picola, the freshman, has quite a leg. I saw him last week at Grable. He was lined up on the sideline, and he was kicking the ball off of a tee, and he was trying to hit a light post. Not a fat light post that holds up these, 1,000 wattage lights. He was like just a regular street lamp that was off to the side of the field, and he actually hit one. He nearly knocked out the light bulb in that little post off to the side of the field. And I was talking with one of the coaches from Mountain View, and I said, "Oh, quite the leg he's got there." And he was like, "Yeah, he's got one of the best legs that I've seen out of a high school kicker." He said he didn't know how to play football to come into the year, but he was a soccer player, and they recruited him to the football team. Said, "Hey, if you join us, you'll work out pretty well." So he's only a kicker. He's not anything else. He doesn't play any other position, but he doesn't need to. Ticum Picola, the freshman soccer player, has worked out rather nicely for this team. They now lead 7-0. So we'll have to see how that extra point plays out for Mountain View in the rest of their season. This state playoff run, as I said, it can come down to 1 or 2 points, and that extra point could be the difference. Thermopolis ready to receive the kickoff from Mountain View. Kick is a short one down to the 20-yard line, received by Thermopolis. Going to be taken up their own sideline and stacked up there after a gain of maybe 10, 12 yards.
That time by number 52, Bridger Harris, and the Mountain View Buffaloes.
Bridger Harris in on the tackle for Mountain View on that kickoff return. And Mountain View has the ball. Thermopolis has the ball at their own. Tough to see what exactly the spot is. The 29 or 30-yard line. Looks like the 29-yard line. They will start this second drive of the game after taking it into Mountain View territory. Penalties killed him last time. Pitch to the right side, goes right off the face mask of a running back, and the ball hits the turf, and Mountain View has recovered. So immediately, Thermopolis gives it up right back to Mountain View. Number 44, Mark Walker, the senior receiver, was in the backfield, almost like a big man. He's a 185-pound, more fullback than running back style, and I'm not sure if he was wasn't ready for it or what, but the ball hit his face mask, bounced towards the line of scrimmage, or actually went in the backfield of the Mountain View defense, where a couple of Mountain View Buffaloes were able to dive on it. They had to turn around. The defensive linemen were like, "Oh, what is the ball doing behind us?" but they were quick enough and got to it. So another drive here for Mountain View, looking to add on to their score with 1 minute to go in the second quarter. First play is going to be a run up the left side on the hash marks. Gain of 8.
Second down and 3 yards to go, 4 yards to go for the Mountain View Buffaloes.
In the shotgun once again. There's going to be a pitch to the right side. Brigham Blumel stiff arms the defender, and he's going to cut across the 20-yard line. We'll have to see the spot. It looks like he got a first down, but let's wait for the mark. And he did. He got it by a yard. So a first down for Mountain View. Ball at the 19-yard line of Thermopolis, courtesy of a first play fumble on the second drive of Thermopolis. This is the second drive for Mountain View. Matson looking to pass to the left side, a slant route across the middle of the field, out in front of his wide receiver, Braden Walk, also the quarterback, another quarterback. Braden Walk, the ball was out in front of him, and he was lucky that it wasn't picked off there, as the slant route kind of went right into the chest of John Harvey, the quarterback for Thermopolis. So the ball hit the turf, though, so it is 2nd and 10. 35 seconds to go in quarter number 1. Matson's going to fake the handoff. He's going to take it left side, quarterback Reed, and he's going to gain about... He's going to take that one about 8 yards, and it'll be 3rd and, let's call it 3rd and 2. And at the Thermopolis 11-yard line, line to gain is the 9-yard line. And with 10 seconds to go, let's see if they snap it here in the first quarter or take it to the second. Looks like they're ready to snap it. And they do. Straight direct snap to Brigham Blumel. He takes it across the end zone, lowers his helmet right into the chest of the defender. He will walk into the end zone after flattening the Thermopolis defense. And the second touchdown on the day for Brigham Blumel. The second running touchdown of the day for Brigham Blumel. Head coach Brett Walk turns around to the crowd, sticks his hands up in the air, tries to get him a little louder there. And as there are 0 seconds on the clock in the first quarter, Tikum Bacola snap is high, snap is down, and it is good. 14-0. Mountain View leads after 1 quarter of play here in Mountain View. Mountain View 2 drives, 2 touchdowns on the board. Thermopolis 2 drives, a punt, and a turnover. Join us on mylocalradio.com after this commercial break for more action from the second quarter of this state playoff game.
My name is Dr. Micah Pullins. I'm an orthopedic surgeon at Evanston Regional Hospital. I perform total hip, total knee, and total shoulder replacement. The huge majority of patients of mine that have undergone total joint replacement have been dealing with pain and disability for many years. After joint replacement and recovery, patients are back to doing the activities that they want to do.
Back here at Mountain View High School, where the Buffaloes now have a 14-0 advantage after 1 quarter of play. They scored on the last play of the quarter. Like I said, with the clock running and under 10 seconds to go, they snapped it. Brigham Blumel ran right up the middle. There was one defender standing maybe at the 1-yard line. Blumel lowered his shoulder, put his helmet down right into the chest of the defender, and just flattened him. And it was a touchdown. Kickoff to about the 10-yard line. Fumbled for a bit for Thermopolis. They're able to pick it up, cut it back towards his own sideline. He's still going, feet moving to about the 26-yard line. So about a 15, 16-yard return there for Thermopolis. The first play of their last drive was a pitch to a big man, a wide receiver who was in the backfield, and the ball hit his face mask and went into the Thermopolis defense, where the linemen were able to all pile on top of it and get a turnover. Thermopolis trying to maybe have a different outcome here, maybe sustain a drive longer than one play here, down 14-0. This is the third time with the ball after punting in their first possession. This is going to be a handoff to the right side from the shotgun formation, and this one is going to be a loss of about a yard on first down. We'll set up 2nd and 11. Run to the right side, and just the penetration from that Mountain View offensive line or defensive line was just enough to get in the backfield before he could make a cut and kind of cut up field. He was going parallel instead of up and down the field. In the shotgun formation once again is Thermopolis. This snap is going to be taking the handoff to the right side. This time he will cut back and get back to the original line of scrimmage, and it will be a 3rd and 10.
59,
Tyson Condos on the tackle. Once again, Condos, his name has been called a lot today. Several big tackles early in this football game, so we'll have to see if he can continue this great game that he has been playing so far. 3rd and 10 here for Thermopolis. Shotgun formation once again. Motion across the line of scrimmage. That was Ashton Eldridge. And this is going to be a handoff to the left side, and that's going to be a gain of about 4 yards. Excuse me, I said Ashton Eldridge. That was actually a Mountain View player. That was Cade McLean, who was motioning across the line of scrimmage. I was looking at the wrong card when I saw number 12. And a 4th and about 6 here. We'll bring out the punting unit for Thermopolis, a 3-and-out. After already trailing 14-0, is certainly not how they wanted it to go. 4th and 6 at the 30-yard line. At their own 30, and the snap is high. Punter's able to catch it and get the punt away. The ball will land at the 40 and roll back to the 30. Picked up by Mountain View, trying to be run up the middle, and eventually he is brought down at the 42-yard line. Looks like a Mountain View player might be injured on the play. And don't look right now. That is Kimball Madsen, who is coming up limp here for the Mountain View Buffaloes. Head coach Brent Walk all the way out to the numbers to confirm that he is okay. They're going to leave him in the game. But he looked to be injured on that play. Kimball Madsen, we'll have to see how injured he is. It's his knee or his foot. He's still shaking it out on the field. We'll have to see if his mobility is limited on this drive as they take over 1st down and 10 at the 42-yard line. Immediately snapped to Madsen. Madsen's going to have the option to pitch it. He'll keep it himself. He'll cut back towards midfield, and he'll get about 6 or 7 yards. So it seemed like on that 1st down play, his mobility was not hampered there, as he's still looking at his foot or his ankle or his knee, his lower body. He's still looking at it. So we'll have to see if he is okay to continue. Might just be a bruise. And that's going to be a handoff to the middle. Oh, Brigham Blumel breaks through the line of scrimmage, and he gets to the 40-yard line of... But there is a flag. I should say he gets to the 40 of Thermopolis, but there's a flag, and maybe that's why he got there.
The flag was thrown right at the end of the play. Way in the backfield.
Thermopolis is... The refs are talking to Thermopolis, so this is certainly against Mountain View. They're trying to determine if they want to accept the penalty or not. It's going to be a holding, and it's going to be on Mountain View. So they'll back it up. The flag was right at the end of the play. The official actually picked up his flag and threw it back towards the line of scrimmage, so might have been kicked or something along Brigham Blumel's run, but this will back it up to 2nd and about 13 now. So after the 10-yard penalty, that's where the spot was. So 2nd and 14 here for Mountain View. Back to snap. Madsen's going to throw along the left sideline looking for Walk. Walk elevates and he gets it. He called it 10, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Braden Walk. There is a flag on the field. They might call him for an offensive pass interference. As the defender fell down, he was over the top of him. He kind of had his hands in front of him. Might have been pushed in the back. Looked like the defender just fell to me, but we'll have to see. Mountain View is walking backwards. Head coach Brent Walk with the headset off. Clearly not happy So an offensive pass interference call. Brent Walk still on the numbers, is trying to understand that call. Looked like a one-on-one situation right on the 30-yard line where Braden Walk just kind of elevated, went over his defender. The defender fell down on his butt, kind of backwards, and they're going to say he was pushed. And Braden Walk's touchdown catch and run will not count. And it will back up it even more. 2nd and 29 after a 15-yard penalty. We'll back this up way back inside the 25-yard line. So 2nd and 29. Let's make it 2nd and 34 after a false start from Mountain View.
There's another flag on field.
No, they're going to pick it up. So it was not a false start. So 2nd and 29 for Mountain View. 2nd and 29 because of the 15-yard penalty after a 2nd and 14. So 2nd and 29 from inside their own 25-yard line. The line to gain is the Thermopolis 49-yard line. It's going to be a throw to the right side. Looking back to Walk. He's going to pitch it to the right side along the sideline, stepping out of bounds. What a play there. Brian Walk elevated, jumped up in the air, and just kind of tipped it to Brigham Blumel, who was right behind him. And Blumel caught it up the sideline, tried to stay in bounds, was eventually touched the white sideline. So they're going to say he caught it, ran up the sideline, and the ball is now placed at the, looks like the 33-yard line. So almost back to that original line of scrimmage before the 15-yard penalty. It's about 3rd and, let's say, 18 here on 3rd down. Madsen's going to be pressured. He's in the backfield trying to get away, and he is spun down way back in the backfield. A huge sack there for Thermopolis on 3rd and 18. Comes up big, and a huge loss on 3rd down will put Mountain View punting from their own end zone. Madsen immediately under pressure under that play right there, and he just kind of kept on moving backward, tried to get out of it and still have the ball in his hand to throw it. Maybe should have just ran it and tried to cut his losses, but he was spun down, and Mountain View punts a booming punt all the way back to the Thermopolis 35-yard line, and the ball will roll, take a little bit of a Thermopolis roll to the 36-yard line. That's where it will stand. So the punt there was from about the 5-yard line or inside the 5, and the ball lands all the way at the Thermopolis 36-yard line. So a booming punt there of over 60 yards there for Mountain View. Certainly something you need after a 2nd and 29 turns into a 3rd and a mile and a 4th and a mile and a half, basically. And Thermopolis will get the ball back here with 8:04 to go. They did take 7 minutes and 3 seconds on their first drive of the game. Let's see how much time they take if they can sustain a drive here. Maybe make this the last possession of the first half. 8:04 to go. First down for Thermopolis in the I formation is how they will start this drive. Quarterback takes it. It's going to be handoff left side. He's going to try to cut along the seams and out to the 39-yard line is Thermopolis there. Gain of about 3 on first down. So with 7:45 to go in the second quarter, the first half, Thermopolis trails 14-0 to Mountain View. Mountain View, the number 1 seed, playing at home, trying to defeat Thermopolis for the second time this season after defeating them 31-8 in a regular season non-conference matchup earlier this year. 2 receivers wide in the I formation. The quarterback drops back to hand it off again. Another run up the middle, and that's going to be a gain of about a few yards. I know Thermopolis' offense might be a lot of running style, but it seems like it has not worked in the early going against this Mountain View team. Just running it up the gut, running it up the seam each time might not be beneficial to them. Their one first down, the big first down they had on the first drive, came off of a motion from Blake Williams, a wide receiver, in an end around. So let's see if they can draw up some trickery here on 3rd down and 6. Ball is thrown to the right side. Ball is on the ground. They're going to players keep on playing as there's no whistles, but eventually it is flagged as an incomplete pass, as it was about a two-step drop and immediately throwing it to outside Blake Williams. There was a flag on the field, I believe, and a false start, so that play does not count, or they're going to say that they can decline it, so maybe it was like an illegal formation or something that you can decline, because usually a false start calls the play dead. But as it stands, it's a 4th and 6, and Thermopolis will punt again here in this first half with 6:44 on the clock. At their own 42-yard line, they will punt to Mountain View. 2 men back for Mountain View and to receive this punt. That one's going to be a punt over the head of the return man. He's going to pick it up, going towards his own end zone at the 10-yard line. Spins around, tries to cut up towards that Thermopolis sideline, and he will eventually get tackled at about the 21-yard line, it looks like. So Ashton Schofield, after an 85-yard kick return last week, maybe feeling himself a little bit too much there. Usually do not want to catch the ball going towards your own end zone, but he was able to turn and kind of run back towards midfield and get back to the 20-yard line. So a gain of about 12 yards there after running what feels like 25 yards to gain 12. 14-0, 6:31 to go in the second quarter of action here. Mountain View on offense. Motion across the line of scrimmage. Fake handoff. Madsen's going to keep it. Madsen runs it up the middle, and that's going to be a run of a few. So we have not seen Brent Walk at quarterback since that first play of the game. Just as I said, Brent Walk's going to take the first snap at quarterback, Braden Walk, and then Campbell Madsen's going to take the next 20. That's just how it works. Madsen is a better thrower and a better runner, to be honest, but both quarterbacks are a good change of pace quarterbacks, where if Braden Walk needs to, he can come in and certainly cause some havoc. Madsen going to throw it, looking towards Braden Walk. He's going to catch it right around the line to gain, and he's going to juke out a defender and cut towards midfield before eventually getting tackled right in front of his father, head coach Brent Walk, at about the 42-yard line. So a first down there for Mountain View. A 17-yard gain. Gets the ball to the Thermopolis, or to the Mountain View 41-yard line with 5 minutes and 40 seconds to play here in quarter number 2. Motion across the line of scrimmage, number 28, Caleb Knutson. And that one's going to be a run up the left side. Handoff to Blumel, and Blumel, to waste no time, cutting up towards midfield. He will get across midfield, and the ball will be placed at the Thermopolis 48-yard line. So 47.5, 48-yard line. So Mountain View trying to sustain a drive here. 5:30 to go in quarter number 2. And that's going to be a snap to Madsen. He's going to run straight up the middle, break a couple tackles, and he's going to cut across the 30 for a first down for Mountain View. So he's tackled at about the 30-yard line, gain of about 16 for Madsen on first down, the quarterback run.
They start going a little faster when this happens.
Madsen will once again set up in the shotgun here pretty quickly.
Madsen in the shotgun. He's going to hand this one off to Blumel, and the Thermopolis defense ready for it as number 4, John Harvey, their quarterback slash linebacker, makes the tackle. So quarterback not necessarily doing a great job from Thermopolis on offense, but he's on the defensive side, the linebacker, trying to cause some havoc, and he stops Blumel in the backfield for a loss of 2 on first down. 2nd and 10. Mountain View kind of looking over to the sideline, getting the play call. Not necessarily rushing, but not necessarily taking their time either. Knutson in motion again. He's going to cut up towards the sideline. The throw across the middle of the field. Is it caught? Brent Walk did catch it. The officials come together. They say he did get it right on the middle of the field at the 10-yard line. Another big catch there for Brent Walk. Wide receiver, quarterback, whatever you want to list him as. He can do it all for this team, and he is a team player as he gets another long reception there off the hands of Kimball Madsen. Both the 10-yard line of Thermopolis, 4.5 minutes to play in quarter number 2. This is going to be a keeper from Madsen to the right side, trying to get around the corner. He will not, as he is pushed out of bounds. He'll actually get back to the line of scrimmage after juking out one defender, and he gains about maybe a yard, maybe a half a yard there on first down. So it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 10-yard line once again for Mountain View. And looks like, it is 2nd and goal. They cannot pick up a first down. There are no chains out there. So 2nd and goal from the 10. Direct snap to the left side, trying to get around the corner, and one more defender to beat. Brigham Blumel beats him around the corner, hits the pylon, and runs into the end zone. A touchdown, the 3rd of the day for Brigham Blumel. A 10-yard rush on 2nd and goal. A handoff to the left side. Brigham Blumel kind of had some blocking in front of him. Had to hit that left corner. He saw the pylon, he went for it, and he just kind of took a shoulder bump from the defender right at the pylon, and he got in the end zone, running straight through the back of the end zone. Tikum Pocola, the kick is up, and the kick is good. So Pocola 3 for 3 on the day, and Brigham Blumel 3 for 3 on the day in touchdowns. So Brigham Blumel, the offensive juggernaut for Mountain View, at least in this matchup so far. 3 rushing touchdowns on the day, 4:09 to play. When we return on mylocalradio.com, more action from the first half. Thermopolis trailing 21-0.
Hello, this is Dr. McKay Frankham. As a dentist in Evanston for over 20 years now, my mission has always been to provide quality dental care for people of all ages at reasonable prices. I'm a detail-oriented person, and it's important to me to stay current on new dental procedures and protocols that can help my patients have the best experience and have the best results. Over the years, I've also worked to keep my overhead low so that I can pass those savings on to my patients. I believe everyone deserves quality dental care. Please call us today at 307-789-8910.
Serving Wyoming since 1940.
Back here at Mountain View, where the Buffaloes are lining up to kick, and Thermopolis will receive. 4:09 to play. Thermopolis trails 21-0 to the number 1 seed out of the West. The Mountain View Buffaloes looking to defend their state title from last year. After a victorious run through the conference this season, they are conference champions out of the West. Buffalo, newly minted into the 2A football conference, they are the champions out of the East. And that kickoff return was caught at about the 20-yard line. Looked like he was stacked up at about the 30, made a huge spin, kind of like a spinning top, and he somehow broke his way through all the way across midfield to the Mountain View 46-yard line. So 3:59 to play, and Mountain View is backed up on their own end at the 46-yard line as Thermopolis will start in plus territory. Last drive, they ran it 3 consecutive plays. Not a smart decision at all. Let's see if they change things up. Like I said, let's see if they go in their playbook, try to draw up something different as maybe an end around or something that happened in the first half, in the first quarter, which was successful. This will be a throw to the right side, wide receiver screen, and that one is caught, and the run will take him to, let's see where the spot was. Not exactly sure where they spotted him. Logan Cole, the running back, with the reception on the screen pass. 2nd and 1 after a 9-yard gain on first down. So something like that, even just a conservative play like a screen pass can do you a lot of good against a defense that thinks you're going to run it 10 times out of 10. Quarterback keeper is going to try to break across the line of scrimmage, and he does. Seems like Mountain View cannot get any Thermopolis players to the ground. It's been about the 6th or 7th time today where at the line of scrimmage, a guy is broken through after seeming to be stopped for a loss or no gain. It seems like Mountain View Thermopolis, just keeps the feet moving, keeps the legs churning, and getting some yards there. So, second quarter here, 3.5 to play. Another screen pass to the left side, cutting across the line of scrimmage, And almost picking up a first down there is Thermopolis. Kimball Madsen with the tackle on defense. And there is a player hurt on the field for Mountain View. Let's see who that is. I think it's Tanner Collins, if I could see the number correctly. Head coach Brent Walk went out to be with him on the field. He's laying on his back in the middle of the field. Looks like a lower body injury. Once again, I did not see the number, so I do not want to incorrectly say that it was somebody else. As I said, I do see Tanner Collins on the sideline, so I'm not sure who that was, but I will wait, obviously. Quite a bit of pain on the middle of the field as he is attempting to get up, and let's see if he can put some weight on it. He can, with a limp, making his way off to the side of the field. That is Hunter Meeks, the sophomore, 255-pound lineman. Hunter Meeks will come out of this game. Hopefully he is good to return, or if he is not going to return, hopefully he is good to play in the future. And as his team leads 21-0 with 3 minutes to go right before halftime. Don't want to see anybody from either team get injured. Obviously, never a fun part about the sport is the violent nature. 21-0, 3:14 to play in quarter number 2. In the shotgun formation, it's going to be a handoff to the left, and that's going to be a first down, but a flag comes in late. A flag comes in late on the tackle. So let's see what that penalty is. Came in on the tackle from the side official. And it's going to be a face mask. So you saw it, he threw it right after the tackle, so you could tell it was on the far side of the field, so I couldn't necessarily see it amongst the sea of bodies, but they do say that it was a face mask on Mountain View. So it was enough to pick up a first down regardless, but the ball at the 20-yard line will now get moved substantially up further for the Bobcats, and that will move it to about the 16-yard line, it looks like. 21-0, 3 minutes to go. Motioning across once again is Blake Williams, and a flag comes from the back judge. We'll see what the call is there, and that's a false start. So Blake Williams motioned across the line of scrimmage behind the center, and maybe he made a cut towards midfield. I'm not exactly sure, or the snap was supposed to happen and it didn't, but 1st and 15 there, and the clock will run. Under 3 minutes to play here in the first half. Mountain View shutting out Thermopolis so far, 21-0. In the shotgun once again, Blake Williams going to take the end around to the right side. He's going to try to cut it up the line of past the line of scrimmage, up the sideline, make a turn, but unfortunately for him, he did not get there all the way to the corner. And a gain of a few yards there on second down will bring up a...
15 yards to go.
It's about 2nd and 14 or 13. Looks like he gained only a yard there on first down. We'll bring up 2nd and 14. Ball still right around that 21-yard line of Mountain View for Thermopolis. In the shotgun formation, looking to pass, throwing it left, and nearly intercepted there. What a play in the backfield. Quarterback took the pass, and there was a screen pass to the left side, and he just kind of stared down his wide receiver for about 4 seconds. You saw the defensive back from Mountain View kind of just standing right at the line of scrimmage. He was waiting to time it, and he cut straight up towards his opposite end zone, and he nearly intercepted it. Had he gotten his hands on it, he would have had a lot of green grass, preferably 75 yards of it by the looks of it, and a touchdown. Ball is incomplete, thrown from the quarterback as he is hit in the backfield, looking to go back towards a wide receiver on that one. I think it was intended for Logan Cole, but he was hit as he threw the ball, kind of trickled towards the line of scrimmage. And sprinting off to the sideline is Selton Perry. And a timeout with 1:51 to play in half number 1. Thermopolis will call the timeout here. 4th and 14-15 on the Mountain View 22. You're certainly not going to punt from the 22-yard line. It is a long 4th down to go. And by the looks of it, they don't have a field goal kicker or a field goal kicker. They're confident enough to try a 40-yard field goal, what it would be basically from here. So we'll have to see what the Thermopolis Bobcats decide to go with. And let's see if head coach Brent Walk decides to call a timeout if his team stops Thermopolis on 4th down. He still has all of his timeouts remaining in this half, after Thermopolis has just called their 3rd and final timeout of the first half. So 21-0. Shade under 2 minutes left here in half number 1. Thermopolis going to need to draw up a play of 15 yards or maybe get a penalty and get a 1st down. Although you cannot count on a penalty, certainly from any team, unless you have a play where you just tell your guys to run into the defense and fall down and hope to draw a penalty. Not recommended, though. 4th and 15, they're going to line up in the shotgun formation. John Harvey in the backfield. He's going to motion Logan Cole out. And he's alone in the backfield. Pump fakes. He's going to throw it to Cole near the 1st down marker, but he throws it well high and out of bounds. And that's a turnover on downs. So you got to give your wide receiver or your running back in this case, even though he's a very tall running back in Logan Cole, you got to give him a chance. That was at least 4 feet over the running back wide receiver's head. No chance for him to catch that one. Even if you underthrow that route just a little bit, you're at least giving him an opportunity. If you overthrow it out of bounds, you have 0 opportunity to score, to get a 1st down there. So in the gun, Matson's going to throw it over the middle of the field and broken up by number 2 from Thermopolis. That was Blake Williams, the wide receiver. Also plays some defensive back, and he played it well there, as it looked like it was going to be a catch over the middle of the field right about the 40-yard line. He came in, got his hand in there, and jarred the ball loose as it fell to the grass. 2nd and 10 with 1:42 to go. Once again, Thermopolis has 0 timeouts left, so if Brent Walk chooses, he can just waste out this clock as he sees fit. But knowing him and his offensive mindset, he's going to want to go for it. Matson back to pass again. He's looking for Brent Walk. Brent Walk catches it at midfield. He's down to the 40, trying to be pulled down from behind, and he's not going to outrun the defenders. But he's got the ball inside of the Thermopolis 35-yard line. A huge catch there on 2nd and 10 from Mountain View. So that's a gain of about 44 yards again on 2nd down. They got a 44-yard catch on a 3rd and 25, did Mountain View earlier in this game. This is a 44-yard catch on a 2nd and 10. 1st and 10 now at the Thermopolis 35-yard line. Matson scrolling to his right, throws back to his left, and what a catch there from Mountain View. Unfortunately for them, it would probably have been better if Brigham Blumel dropped that pass, because he caught it in the backfield and was immediately undercut by 2 Thermopolis players on defense and tackled for a loss of about 5. So it was one of those plays, Kimmel Matson was bootlegging to his right, scrambling to his right. All of a sudden, he was being chased by defenders. All of a sudden, he stopped, turned it through across his body to the far sideline, the Mountain View sideline, and Brigham Blumel had to sky elevate to catch that ball. But like I said, there were 2 Thermopolis players literally planted at his hip and tackled him immediately once he made contact with that ball. So 2nd and about 14 here for Mountain View. Obviously, you're not thinking that way as a player on the field, but that would have been a better ball to just drop, kind of knock it out of bounds, than to catch, as Brent Walk called the timeout after that 1st down play. 1:15 to go. Brent Walk still has 2 timeouts remaining at his disposal. Ticum Picola still warming up the kicker. We'll see if they need him here inside of the 30-yard line. Using the kicking net on the near sideline is Picola. Is a direct snap to Brigham Blumel. He's going to cut up the middle of the field, try to get to the line of scrimmage, but a flag comes in late. And I think this is going to be against Mountain View. Flag on the far side of the field by the Thermopolis line of scrimmage, and sure enough, Braden Walk and Kimball Matson all walking backwards. Usually not a good sign. Talking to the Thermopolis defense is one of the officials, asking if they want to accept it, and it is a holding penalty, so that will back Mountain View up a little bit further here with 1:09 to play in half number 1. 21-0. Mountain View still leading. Matson snaps it back to the left side, looking for his wide receiver, and it's underthrown and intercepted right inside the 5-yard line. And unfortunately for Thermopolis, they intercepted it, but the defensive back landed at the 1-yard line.
First down and 10 for the Thermopolis Bobcats. Will be spotted at the 2-yard line.
And they're going to mark him at the 2.
At the 1-yard line will be Thermopolis here after an interception, going for it all there.
Great coverage by Chandler. Just was with them step by step, and like you said, the ball in his throw, and Chandler was right there to make a play on it.
And that will be a first down for Thermopolis. But once again, they need to get this ball out of their own end zone if they want to even just kneel the ball here, as Brent Walk only has 2 timeouts, so he cannot get the ball back this half unless a turnover. But if Thermopolis wants to run the ball, they have to ensure that they'll gain at least a yard here, and they do on first down. They'll hand it off to, I believe that was Cole. Yeah, Logan Cole again, and he gains about 9 yards on first down. So out of their own end zone, they will look to run this clock out with about 30 seconds to go. They're content to just sit on the ball here and take a 21-0 deficit into halftime. Once again, Mountain View will get the ball first to start the second half, so Mountain View has a chance to go up 4 scores to start that second half. As another snap comes off, run up the middle, gain of about 5 or 6 yards there on second down and 3. We'll get the clock under 10 seconds. It is rolling, and that's how this half will end. 21-0. Mountain View will go into halftime with a lead here. Mountain View will get the ball to start the second half, leading 21-0. Head coach Brent Walk has to be pleased with what he has seen. I will hop down on the field and talk to him when he comes back out from halftime rather. After this commercial break on mylocalradio.com, the Buffaloes, the number 1 seed Buffaloes, leading Thermopolis, the Bobcats, 21-0. After 24 minutes of play, for the next 24 minutes, Mountain View will have to compete and try to hold on here with a 3-score advantage. They lead 21-0. More second half action when we return from this commercial break on mylocalradio.com.
Halftime dance.
Light up your world with a custom-built LED sign from Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. It's a proven fact that signage that lights up creates more attention. So light it up and then add text, images, and video, and your sign becomes even more powerful. Start sharing your advertising messages and information with your customers today. The team at Rocky Mountain Sign provides all types of quality signage that is custom-built and maintained. Call today for a free quote. Rocky Mountain Sign, 307-789-5202. Rocky Mountain Sign, serving customers in Wyoming, Utah, and Idaho.
Serving Wyoming since 1941, Plains Tire is Wyoming's oldest and largest tire dealer with great locations throughout the state. They'll get you the right tires that offer the best results for your vehicle at the lowest prices, guaranteed. Plus, you can go to any Plains Tire Pro dealer with their nationwide warranty service. And check out their Plains Tire phone app.
Come down and see us at Plains Tires on 157 Bear River Drive for all your automotive needs. Hablamos también español.
If you had a toothache, would you see a foot doctor? Or would you go to the dermatologist to have a baby? Of course not. When your vehicle needs service, take it to the best qualified mechanics. At Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet, our technicians are GM certified service experts. They're trained to know every inch of your vehicle. Don't trust your vehicle to just anyone. Have all your service done at Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet, 624 Front Street, Evanston. We're a different kind of dealer.
Dr. Dog, the other day I was at the dog park and ran into Keegan, the Irish setter from up the road. When we smelled hello, I was surprised because he smelled like delicious roasted duck. When I asked if he'd been hunting, he said nein, he had been to see you.
Yes, Mr. Hans German Shepherd, I'm recommending Canine Superfood Advanced from PetMinerals.com for all my canine patients. The powder mixes with your dog food to create a delicious duck-flavored gravy. Order your Superfood Advanced from PetMinerals.com today.
We talked about was he's backing him up.
So it seems that Mountain View in control here in this first half of action. After one half, they lead 21-0.
He gave up a couple big plays.
Mountain View leads 21-0 here at halftime. Thermopolis had a couple decent-sized plays. They got it inside of the 25-yard line of Mountain View before stalling and turning the ball over on downs on a 4th and 15 near the end of the first half. Mountain View took the ball with about 1:50 to go and tried to go the length of the field. They did. They went all the way down to the 1-yard line where they threw an interception at the 1. Underthrown from Kimball Madsen, and the ball hit the turf, or the lineman hit the turf after the defensive back hit the interception at the 1-yard line. Mountain View not able to get a safety before the end of the half. Thermopolis gained a few yards there and ran out the clock. That is how the first half ended. It is 21-0. And after 2 quarters, the number 1 seed, Mountain View, leading the number 4 seed out of the East, Thermopolis, 21-0. I'm going to head down towards the field, catch the teams coming back in the locker room, as we have about 7 minutes before the start of the second half. I'll catch both teams as they're coming out. I'll talk to head coach Brent Walk, ask if he is pleased with the result after one half, 21-0 leading. I'll ask him a few more questions, and I'll bring all those results and those answers back to the press box. I'm going to head down to the field, talk to head coach Brent Walk. So stay tuned while we take a short break on mylocalradio.com before resuming for the second half action.
Serving Wyoming since 1941, Plains Tire is Wyoming's oldest and largest tire dealer with great locations throughout the state. They'll get you the right tires that offer the best results for your vehicle at the lowest prices, guaranteed. Plus, you can go to any Plains Tire Pro dealer with their nationwide warranty service. And check out their Plains Tire phone app.
Come down and see us at Plains Tires on 157 Bear River Drive for all your automotive needs. Hablamos también español.
Light up your world with a custom-built LED sign from Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. It's a proven fact that signage that lights up creates more attention. So light it up and then add text, images, and video, and your sign becomes even more powerful. Start sharing your advertising messages and information with your customers today. The team at Rocky Mountain Sign provides all types of quality signage that is custom-built and maintained. Call today for a free quote. Rocky Mountain Sign, 307-789-5202. Rocky Mountain Sign, serving customers in Wyoming, Utah, and Idaho.
Back here from commercial break during this halftime where Thermopolis trails 21-0 here in Mountain View. I just caught up with head coach Brent Walk as he and his team took the field for the second half. I asked him what he saw on that Braden Walk interception, or not interception, Braden Walk catch and run touchdown, which was called back because of a pass interference. He said that he thinks the officials made the right call. He was very upset on the sideline, as any coach would be, but he did think that it was the right call. He was just upset at how it looked like the defender was slipping anyway, but unfortunately for him in the Mountain View Buffaloes, Braden Walk, his son, was not able to make a touchdown catch, as a long catch there was called back due to a pass interference on the offense. I asked him how he felt his team did in the first half, leading 21-0 after one half of play, and he said that we're playing great. This is how we need to play to win a state championship. So he was very pleased with the effort and the play of his team. And I asked him one big thing going into the second half, and he said the penalties. He said we cannot have any false start or holding penalties. Those are what kill teams. And he did elaborate, and he said that first drive from Thermopolis really was killed because of the penalties. So he doesn't want anything like that to happen, especially in the second half with his team leading 21-0. Penalties are what will lose Mountain View this game if they were to have a bunch of penalties and stall their drives because of it. But as of right now, they do not need to worry about that, as they lead 21-0. Thermopolis kept off the scoreboard in the first half. They scored 8 in their first meeting between the two teams. It was 31-8. It's 21-0 after 24 minutes here in Mountain View. And Mountain View will be getting the opening kickoff of the second half. Thermopolis got the opening kickoff of the first half. And that was a punt on the first drive before Mountain View scored. And then Thermopolis on the first play fumbled it off the face mask of their running back, and Mountain View went back down the field and scored only 20 yards or so on that drive because they started in such good field position. And then that final drive, they scored a touchdown. That final touchdown drive was a long drive for them that started on their own side of the field and ended in a Brigham Blumel 9-yard touchdown run. He has touchdown runs of 9, 10, and 12 yards today. So he's just looking for that 11-yard carry in the end zone. And every single one, it seems, I mean, the first one he was untouched, but the last two, it seems like he has flattened or ran through a defender right at the goal line. The final one, he did kind of brush off a defender as he got to that pylon. So we are ready to kick here in the second half. Thermopolis will kick off from their own 40. And Mountain View will pick it up after it rolls around for a bit at the 20-yard line. And the ball will be spotted at the 26-yard line. That's where Mountain View will start this first drive of the second half, as the Mountain View Buffaloes will have a 1st and 10 from their own 26-yard line. 11:54 on the clock in the third quarter. Mountain View hopes to make it a running clock and just keep that clock moving, even if it's not technically a running clock, just meaning keeping the possession as long as they can, forcing Thermopolis to run the ball and run the clock and contain that Thermopolis offense. It's going to be a run to the right side on the first play of the second half, and that's going to be a gain of about 4 yards on first down. So I'll bring up 2nd and 6 here as a gain of 4 yards gets Morgan Blumell back to the 30-yard line of Mountain View. Beautiful day outside today, especially if you're in the sun. So it might be a little bit cold in the press box here because of the lack of sunlight in here. But it is a beautiful day outside here in Mountain View. Bright and sunny. A little windy out today, but still a brisk October day here in Wyoming. Beautiful for high school football. 3rd and 1 after a 5-yard run on 2nd down from Kimball Madsen, quarterback keeper. He's going to be in the shotgun. Madsen's going to be in the shotgun. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. He's going to take the snap, run to his left, kind of spun around, and he's going to break through that tackle or that attempted tackle and get across the 40-yard line to the 45-yard line where he will be drugged down. And that is a 1st down for Mountain View. So it looked like the Bobcats kind of had a hand on him, had a hand on the back of his jersey, but the spin there from Kimball Madsen enough to break away and get a 1st down. Madsen's going to fake the handoff, run to the right side, trying to get around that corner. Nice block on the outside from Mountain View, and he's going to be right at the marker. We'll have to see the spot if he got a 1st down, but it's a 10-yard run there on 1st down. And he did get a 1st down, so mark it 10 yards, 10.5 yards there on 1st down for Kimball Madsen. Gets him a 1st down. Nice block on the outside from Trevor Sweeney, the junior. Freed that one up to get him to the corner. In the shotgun formation, Madsen gonna motion across the line of scrimmage, and he's gonna take the ball from Madsen, and he's going to maybe get a yard there on 1st down, and it'll bring up 2nd and about 9 from just inside the Thermopolis 45-yard line. Thermopolis once again in the white tops, gray bottoms. Mountain View in the purple tops, purple bottoms. Nice gray on the shoulder pads. Back to pass, Madsen looking to the left. He's going to go deep to Braden Walk, and Braden Walk kind of gave up on it, and the ball landed a couple yards in front of him, so he might have had some contact from a defender, I'm not sure, but it looked like he slowed up at the end of that play, and the ball only landed about 2 yards in front of him. Maybe if he continued sprinting full speed, he would have been able to run under it. Friggin' Blumell with his hands on his hips behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 9 there for Mountain View. One-on-one coverage on the outside again, and he's going to look back to Braden Walk. Braden Walk cuts across on a slant route, and it was almost picked off there by Thermopolis, undercutting the route there. A great play from Dustin Harvey, but the ball hit the turf, unfortunately for him. He trapped it, but it looked like another slant route or another post route, I guess you could say, from Mountain View, and just a little underthrown there as the ball hit the dirt. Maybe if it was not underthrown, maybe if it was thrown a little higher, it would have been picked off by Dustin Harvey. So maybe in the spot that it needed to be for Kimball Madsen. 1 safety in the backfield for Thermopolis, actually on a 4th down. A punt returner, he's going to run up at the last second. Looked like Mountain View was going to maybe go for it, but instead it's a pooch punt, and the ball lands at the 5-yard line, rolls towards the goal line, and it just rolls into the end zone. Not quick enough for the Mountain View defenders to run down there and down the ball, as that thing kind of just died at the 5-yard line, rolled just sideways, and almost like a hill, it just kept on rolling barely into the end zone, and that ball is a touchback. So Thermopolis gets a little lucky there. We'll get the ball at their own 20-yard line to start here with 9:41 to play in half number 2, excuse me. Handoff to the left side, trying to break through a couple tackles. He does break through one, but eventually tackled there was number 44, Logan Cole, once again. Hunter Gross in for the tackle for Mountain View.
That's facing second and 9. Maddock will go in motion to the right, empties the backfield. Hard.
Back to throw, across the middle of the field, complete to his wide receiver, and eventually brought to the ground. Kimball Madsen on the tackle there. Gain of maybe 1 yard on second down there. Will bring up 3rd and 9 here for Thermopolis at their own 21-yard line in the I formation. Looks like Mountain View is going to bring some pressure as the linebackers kind of ran up to the line of scrimmage. Thermopolis read it out. They're looking back towards their sideline to maybe get a read here, and sure enough, they will change the play here, it looks like, as they go into the shotgun formation. The back judge in the back is waving his hands. It might be a delay of game. It is. Oh, just before the delay of game, there was a timeout called, but you could see the back judge kind of just extending his hand out, and he kind of was viciously doing it, trying to get the signal of the quarterback, say, hey, you only have 5 seconds left. Quarterback did not see it, and the coach for Thermopolis did. He called timeout with probably 1 second left on the play clock because the ref had the flag out of his pocket, had just dropped it, but the official on the side said the timeout was called before. So 3rd and 9, Thermopolis calls their first timeout of the second half. 8:20 to play here in quarter number 3. Thermopolis still scoreless today, trailing 21-0. Good news for them is they've only allowed 21 points. I know that might sound like, what do you mean only 21? This is a team from Mountain View that can put up 50 in any half, let alone a game. They are that good on offense. So Thermopolis maybe being a little bit more deliberate with the ball. They took 7 minutes and 3 seconds off their first drive of the game off the clock, and that did not result in a touchdown. That was a punt. So Thermopolis trying to make this a possession game, but they are down 3 possessions here. So they will have to eventually get into the end zone. They've only given up 21, but they have not scored any so far. So after the timeout, they are in the single back formation. Back to pass, looking at a screen pass. He's going to not throw it. The quarterback keeps it, and he is brought down by 2 Mountain View defenders in the backfield. That's going to be a sack on 3rd and 9, and Mountain View will get the ball back. I believe that was Hunter Gross in for the tackle, in for the sack amongst a couple other guys who came in right after he wrapped him up. So a 4th and 13, only a loss of 5 yards on that sack, but still enough to make Thermopolis punt the ball here. End-over-end kick covered at the 49, and a running start for Ashton Schofield, and he is leveled at the sideline there, right on the Mountain View, on that Thermopolis sideline. He crossed the 30-yard line, and a Thermopolis player launched himself and just leveled Ashton Schofield, put him on his back. Feet overhead right there, and it is a Mountain View ball. There's no penalty on the field for that, just a clean, big hit there. But Mountain View will start with the ball at the 32-yard line of Thermopolis, so a huge return there of about 21 yards, gets the ball to the 27-yard line, or so even a 35-yard return on that kickoff, on that punt, excuse me. And Brigham Blumel will take a handoff and be stood up immediately. Loss of, and there's a flag. They're going to pick up the flag. There is no flag on the field, so I guess the flag either inadvertently was thrown, or Brent Walk still wants an explanation. He thinks that there should have been a flag. He is out at the numbers talking with the official on the near side, trying to determine why the flag was picked up. Refs are going to blow the clock dead, and Brent Walk wants an explanation. Brett Walk still with his hands in the air, maybe doesn't understand the explanation from the head official. But he will give up his cause, up 21-0, and he will tell Madsen to snap the ball. Madsen snaps it, scrolls to his left, looking for Braden Walk, and he throws it over his head. Braden Walk was open at the 20-yard line there on a short crossing route, And he threw it over his head. So 3rd and 10 here for Mountain View. They're certainly not going to punt. I have not seen Tecumseh attempt a field goal longer than about 25 yards. So we'll have to see what the strategy here is on 3rd and 10 from the 27. I don't know if you want to roll out a freshman kicker and tell him, go kick this from 44 yards out. I don't know if he has a leg for that. So Mountain View might be 2-down territory here. Sweeney motioning. Madsen throws to the right side. Brigham Blumel catches it, jukes out a defender, and he'll gain about 8 yards after he caught it, about a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage, and that'll be a 4th and about 4 or 5 from the 22-yard line, it looks like. So Mountain View, let's see what they go with here. Trevor Sweeney makes his way out onto the field. Brent Walk, head coach, kind of pacing down the sideline, determining what he wants to do. 4th and short here, 4th and 4, they're going to go for it. Back to snap, Madsen looking to throw right. He does, right at the marker, and it's got a 1st down after a short run after the catch gets him inside the 15-yard line, and a 1st down for Mountain View.
Buffalo's balls on the 14-yard line.
Schofield with the catch, about a 8-yard reception there, gets the ball to the 14-yard line for Mountain View. Madsen direct snap, going to take it right up the middle, and Madsen's going to overpower a defender. Did he get into the end zone? He did not. He's 1 yard short. So that'll just line up Brigham Blumel for his 4th touchdown of the day, you would think. Kimball Madsen might be like, hey, just give me the ball, coach. I want to score 2. But Brigham's like, I want all the touchdowns today. Brigham Blumel is in the backfield. Could he get touchdown number 4 on this play? It is a direct snap to Brigham Blumel. He's going to cut across the line of scrimmage, and he's going to get in just as I had just predicted. 6:11 to play in half. Number 2, quarter number 3. And it is certainly looking glum for the Thermopolis Bobcats as Brigham Blumel scores his 4th touchdown of the day. This one a direct snap out of the shotgun formation right next to Kimball Madsen. He took the direct snap and he kind of just made his way up towards the middle of the field and just kind of, he was undercut from below on his feet, but fortunately for him, he fell into the end zone over a pile of bodies and a touchdown. 28-0 is the score through 6:11 to play here in quarter number 3. We're going to take a timeout on mylocalradio.com. Please join us after this commercial break.
Bring your vehicle for service at Rocky Mountain Yeti and feel the difference. It's easy. Visit with one of the friendly service riders and then relax and enjoy hot waffles and ice cream. While you relax Yeti style, your vehicle will be worked on by our experienced mechanics. From regular maintenance to major repairs, we do it all. Have your service work done at Rocky Mountain Yeti in Evanston and feel the difference. Get Yeti'd today.
Ooh, yeah.
100 Wasatch Road in Evanston.
Mountain View Buffalo is the number 1 seed out of the West, leading this one 28-0, making it look easy. They will play the winner of Glen Rock. Glen Rock will play later tonight. You would expect Glen Rock to advance out of that matchup, but we will have to wait and see for that one. That is a, let me look that up. I believe that's a 7 p.m. kick tonight between that one, so I would expect head coach Brent Walk to maybe go home and start doing some research after this contest, and if he has not already scouted Glen Rock or the team that he will be playing, you would expect a lot of that to be happening. Kickoff return to the, let's see where the ball is actually marked. The 35-yard line as the ball went out of bounds, so it will be automatically placed at the 35.
4-play drive or something like that. Yep.
Pistol formation to start for Thermopolis here. And that's going to be a handoff to the left side. Gain of about a few yards there. And
By number 10, bringing Blumel, number 50.
we'll have to see what Thermopolis has drawn up here as
Down and 6 yards to go.
as Thermopolis needs to start scoring, and they need to start scoring pretty fast. As it's going to be a throw to the right side after scrambling around, and that ball falls in front of the wide receiver that was intended for number 2, Blake Williams. Could not get to it. So as of right now in the 2A conference, Thermopolis trails 28-0. Big Piney and Glen Rock will play at 7 p.m. tonight. You'd assume Glen Rock will advance out of that one, but the games are played on the field, not on paper. So I expect Glen Rock to advance there and set up a monumental matchup next week here at Mountain View between Mountain View and Glen Rock. On the other side, Grable is playing Wheatland, and Kemmerer will have a trip to Buffalo. Kemmerer for the first time in the playoffs in a few years after a couple of abysmal seasons for them. Got to feel good if you are just a Wyoming high school fan in general. Maybe the only reason I could expect you not wanting Kemmerer in the playoffs was if you're a Pinedale fan, because Pinedale was knocked out, unfortunately, when Kemmerer won last week. But as a lot of people have said, if you want to make the playoffs, you have to beat some teams, and Pinedale's regular season matchup against Kemmerer was what kept them out of the regular season and the playoffs. Kept them out of the playoffs, excuse me. 28-0 after a first down run there from Thermopolis, gains them 15 yards. Going to be a throw across the middle of the field that is caught and tried to be tackled there from Mountain View. He's going to break a couple tackles and get all the way to the Mountain View 30-yard line. That was a huge reception there from Logan Cole, who's just taking a deep route down the seam. And he caught it about 5 yards, and he just kind of kept on running straight. And Mountain View almost looked like they were going for a strip or something, trying to knock the ball out instead of wrapping him up. He got all the way to the Mountain View 31-yard line. It's going to be a fake handoff. He's going to try to throw it to the left side. He sees a defender there, so he holds on to it, pump fakes, and then the defender, the wide receiver, gets open, and he throws it behind the head of the defensive back, and it is complete. So it was one of those fake handoffs, and he was immediately going to throw it to the left side. And good for the Thermopolis quarterback. He saw, before just turning around and throwing it wildly, he saw the defender was there, so he kind of had to pump fake and hold on to it. And the wide receiver realized he was being covered up, so he just kind of made a break towards the end zone, and it was lobbed in there by the quarterback. Hand off to the right side. Williams going to try to cut around the corner. He's going to get there before being smashed out of bounds there. A huge hit from number 50, Hunter Gross, the junior. Made him pay for that one. But it is near a first down mark right there.
8 yards on the play. They'll bring up second and 2 yards.
8 yards on first down. We'll bring up 2nd and 2 from about the 13-yard line, let's call it. In the shotgun formation, they're going to have 2 backs in the backfield now for Thermopolis. Going to be a snap to the quarterback. Cole's going to take it on a handoff, and he will run up the middle of the field, cut back towards the middle of the field, and get past the marker for a first down. So this has arguably been Thermopolis' best drive of the game. They've been throwing the ball for the first time really today and just opening up their playbook and saying, hey, we're down 28. We need points, and we need them quick. So with 4:20 to go in the third quarter, Thermopolis has a first down inside the 10-yard line, 1st and goal. Going to be a throw to the left side, going to the end zone, and it is knocked away inside the end zone there. A jump ball was knocked away. Good coverage from Mountain View. Blake Williams was the intended target. Blake Williams is a junior wide receiver for Thermopolis, but he is not the tallest of wide receivers. He is more of a speed threat around the corner. So, and when you throw in a jump ball to Blake Williams, you're not going to have the height advantage there. So the ball was knocked away by the defense. looking to go right back to him on the left side. That was actually intended for Logan Cole, but it went through his hands. Incomplete. So 3rd and goal from the 9 once again. Right inside the 10-yard line. Might be actually at the 10. Tough to see from the spot, but it looks like he's at the 10. So 3rd and goal from the 10 with 4:09 to play. 2-down territory here for Thermopolis. Trying to get on the board for the first time today, trailing 28-0. Back to pass. Scrambling to his right, under pressure. He's going to kind of cut up the field and eventually get pushed out of bounds inside the 10, right about the 8-yard line. So gain of a few there on 3rd down, gain of 2, and they'll make it 4th and goal from the 8-yard line. A tough scenario here for Thermopolis, as this is the 2nd time they've had the ball in the red zone, and they don't have the plays in this goal-to-go situation that have been able to get them a 1st down or a touchdown. And we're going to have a timeout for Mountain View on defense. So a 4th and 7 for Thermopolis with 4:05 to play. Brent Walk wants to talk it over with his defense. We will take a commercial break with him here on MyLocalRadio.com.
My name is Dr. Micah Pullins. I'm an orthopedic surgeon at Evanston Regional Hospital. I perform total hip, total knee, and total shoulder replacement. The huge majority of patients of mine that have undergone total joint replacement have been dealing with pain and disability for many years. After joint replacement and recovery, patients are back to doing the activities that they want to do.
Back here at Mountain View, a big 4th and goal from the 7, about the 8-yard line here for Thermopolis. Mountain View called the timeout. Head coach Brent Walk wanted to talk it over with his defense, make sure everyone was set and where they need to be. 4:05 on the clock here. And Thermopolis comes back out of their huddle, ready to go here on 4th down, needing to get to the end zone unless we have a penalty, or it will be another turnover on downs. In the I formation, dropping back to pass, he's going to throw it to the left, Hunter Cole, and he drops it. Hunter Cole tried to go out on a screen pass to the left side, and it was in his hands, and he just kind of dropped it in front of him. He was fumbling with it for a second, and he dropped it. So Mountain View will take over at the 8-yard line now, their own 8-yard line. So if there's one bright side for Thermopolis, you're giving the ball to Mountain View inside their own 10. Obviously, the downside to that is they had the ball at the 8-yard line and could not score. Mountain View will start in the shotgun formation as they usually do. And that's going to be a handoff up the middle, and breaking through is Brigham Blumel. He's going to gain about 12 yards on 1st down to the 20-yard line and get a 1st down. So on the first play, backed up inside their own 10, a big 12-yard run there from Blumel gives them a 1st down. In the shotgun once again, Madsen and Blumel in the backfield. And Blumel is going to take a direct snap to the right side, try to go around the corner. Ashton Schofield trying to lay down a block for him, and he does as he cuts back towards the end zone, and that is another 1st down, so another 11-yard rush. Gets it to the 30, let's see where the ball is placed, about the 31-yard line. So Mountain View using this running offense to their advantage here. On the first 2 plays of the drive, they have gained 22 yards. Fake handoff up the middle. Kimball Madsen spins off a defender, and he's breaking through, and he's gone. 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Kimball Madsen, and it is 35-0. Mountain View leads over Thermopolis in the opening round of the state playoffs. If the game was not already on paper, booked at that one, Kimball Madsen might have just done it there. A 69-yard touchdown run for Kimball Madsen. Back-to-back weeks with a long Kimball Madsen touchdown. It certainly paid off here for the Buffaloes as he got a fake handoff, ran it to the right side, and just kind of spun away from a defender right about midfield, or right about midfield. He spun away from a tackle, and he had one man to beat, and the man was about a step behind him. So if you're even, he's leaving. That's the saying for wide receivers, and this saying was true for Kimball Madsen. He wasn't a wide receiver on this play, but he knew once he was even with that Thermopolis player, and he had about 40 yards to run, he knew there was no way he was getting caught there. He ran the last 40 yards into the end zone. Ticum Piccolo's extra point is blocked, by the way, so it is 34-0, but Mountain View looking awfully good here, up 34-0 over the visiting Thermopolis. So Mountain View exceeds their point total from their first matchup when they scored 31 in a victory. They have 34 with 3:14 to play in the third quarter here. Mountain View all over Thermopolis, looking good doing it. Mountain View breaks out of their huddle. Thermopolis waiting to receive this kickoff.
Mountain View Buffaloes be number 18, Tiancum Picola, back deep to receive for the Thermopolis Bobcats. Be number 20, Chandler Maddox.
Down come Picola. Going to kick off here at his own 40-yard line. Thermopolis, that's got to be heartbreaking for them. Down 28-0, a 92-yard drive on, I believe, what was 4 plays. I believe that was a 4-play drive for Mountain View. It was 92 yards in the span of about 2 minutes. And that is fumbled on the return there, out of bounds, right at the 15-yard line. Coming up to catch it was a Bobcat, and he caught it, but he fumbled it out of bounds on the sideline. Right at the 15-yard line is where Mountain View will go back on defense and start this drive. Thermopolis looking to try to move the ball here, maybe get on the scoreboard, put up a number so it's not so crooked on the scoreboard when this game goes final. Once again, Mountain View will play the winner of Glen Rock and Big Piney next week here at home. Mountain View has one more home game this season after this. Next week against Glen Rock or Big Piney, as the keeper will be to the left side, breaking through. He's got some room to run, and he is down at the 32-yard line. So a good run on first down there of 17 yards gets a first down for Thermopolis. So the Bobcats still have some fight left in them, trying to put up a score, trying to make this Mountain View Buffalo defense work. Starters still in for Mountain View as well. Brigham Blumel in the backfield on defense. Pressure coming, scrolling to his right. That's John Harvey. John Harvey's going to get across the line of scrimmage, and he's going to get stopped there for a few yards there. He'll get to about the 34-yard line, gain of 2 yards on first down. And that'll bring up 2nd and 8.
Second down and 8 yards to go.
2:30 to play here in the third quarter. Ball just inside their own 35-yard line. Bobcats trying to move the ball here. Head coach Brent Walk still wants his team to look as good as possible. Remember, in last season's playoff run, Mountain View, I believe, I would need to double-check this number, but I believe they outscored their opponents 120-34, and I believe all of those points came in the final game, all of those points given up. I believe they had 2 shutouts en route to the state title game, in which it was a very close game, and they won. So Mountain View, no stranger to turning on the heat, turning on the pressure in the playoffs and shutting out their opponent. It's going to be a handoff to the left side on 3rd and 5. And that is gain of about maybe a yard there on 3rd down. We'll bring up 4th and about 4 here for the Thermopolis Bobcats. Don't have a lot of answers for what Thermopolis could be doing different or, should be doing differently. But at the end of the day, this is It's not looking good for this Thermopolis team right now. As that run is around the right side, but there's a flag, as that was number 75 on Mountain View. He was being held. Selton Perry went to the ground with a Bobcat offensive lineman. Usually when an offensive lineman and a defensive lineman go to the ground, that's usually a holding. Not every time, but usually, especially when the ball is not, when the action is not in the backfield, that is usually a case for holding, because it means that one guy's on top of the other guy holding him to the ground. So back it up to the 29-yard line, and it will be about 4th and 12 here for Thermopolis. 1:05 to play in quarter number 3. Clock is running here as we tick down under a minute to go. It's 34-0. And they will punt. This punt is end-over-end kick, and it's off the side of the foot, and it did not go well for Thermopolis. That ball landed at their own 39-yard line, took a bounce towards their own end zone, but luckily for them, it was out of bounds. So 39-yard line. Their own 39-yard line is where the Mountain View Buffaloes will take over inside of Thermopolis territory, needing only 39 yards to put up another score here with 45 on the clock. Shotgun formation. Madsen back to pass, looking left. He's going to throw it to Braden Walk, and Braden Walk went right through his hands as Walk tried to cut back towards the line of scrimmage and catch it. He jumped up and had his hands ready, but the ball went right through his hands over his head and incomplete. 42 on the clock, so let's see if Brent Walk runs this ball here and just takes it into the fourth quarter on 2nd and 10. The incomplete pass stopped the clock momentarily. And a low snap, Madsen takes it, pitches it left. Brigham Blumel almost tripped up, but he's able to skip past the defender, and he's gone down the sideline, stiff arms the defender. He's going to dive for the pylon. He's in. Brigham Blumel, 39-yard touchdown for Mountain View. Kimball Madsen took the snap. He was an option, and he pitched it out to Brigham Blumel. There was a defender in the backfield who tried to trip him up by the shoelaces. Momentarily had Brigham Blumel skipping, and then he just cut up the sideline and had about 2 men to beat. He had him beat by distance. It was just whether they could bring him down from behind. He was brought down, but he had a dive for the pylon, and he was into the end zone. Snap, kick is good. It hit the upright. Team Pensacola hit the right upright, and it still went in. Probably would not recommend in a high-intensity situation to start target practice and hit the upright, but there are flags in the end zone, and they are waving quite rapidly, so you can tell the wind on the field level is probably pretty high, so Pensacola was right there. So Brigham Blumel, 5 touchdowns on the day, 39 yards on that last one. 6 touchdowns on the day for Mountain View, a 69-yard run from Kimball Madsen. The only touchdown that does not belong to Brigham Blumel. I'll try to get an interview with Brigham after today's contest, if I can pull him aside for a minute and discuss some things with him. We'll put that on mylocalradio.com and my radio show 10:30 to 11 a.m. on KMYN Radio. That's on your dial 99.1, or if you're at home or on a computer, click Listen Live and go to KNYN, and you can listen live to the radio even though you are not listening to a radio. So 30 seconds to go here in quarter number 3. Thermopolis trails 41-0 to home team and number 1 seed Mountain View. Kickoff taken at the 15. Cut back towards his own sideline. Makes a move, and he has a lot of green grass in front of him, but he's brought down from behind at midfield. Trevor Sweeney with the tackle inside of Mountain View territory. So this is the second drive off of a kickoff that Mountain View has given up plus territory field position to Thermopolis. Thermopolis will start at the Mountain View 49-yard line with 21 seconds to go. So maybe one play and then we'll flip fields and head the other direction, barring an incomplete pass. He's going to hand off to the right side on first down, trying to cut laterally. And he is tackled at the line of scrimmage. So no gain, under 10 seconds to go. That will round up the third quarter of action here. 41 for the home team, 0 for the visitors. Mountain View 12 minutes away from a state playoff victory. And that would make it 4 consecutive state playoff victories after the 3 last year, including the state title game. So Mountain View 12 minutes away from victory here. Stay tuned on mylocalradio.com for more action.
Okay, and Jerry, what might...
In addition to local information and the best live coverage of local sports, you can stream music 24/7 at mylocalradio.com. Log on and choose the music you like best. Classic or modern country, indie, adult contemporary, or classic rock. Stream it live through your computer or cell phone. Listen to the music you want and don't miss the information you need. Like us on Facebook and visit mylocalradio.com today.
Your mobility affects every aspect of your life. When you suffer from an injury that decreases your mobility, or maybe you're just noticing that you're having a harder time balancing and your flexibility isn't what it used to be, call Randy Christofferson at Achieve Sports Medicine. Randy will work with you to improve your overall health by reducing pain and improving mobility. Schedule your appointment today by calling 307-747-4627. Achieve Sports Medicine in Lyman. No excuses, just results.
Fourth quarter ready to get started here. And the first play will be a run to the right side. And that's going to be a gain of a few yards there. Clock will continue to roll here. I'm not sure if we're going to be using running clock. It is 41-0. Mountain View leads. As maybe of note, Hunter Gross on the sideline being worked on by some trainers, coaches talking to him. So hopefully Hunter Gross is okay for Mountain View. Would not want him to miss any time, especially in the state playoffs. Do not know what exactly went wrong with Hunter Gross. I think he was down at the end of the play, at the end of the quarter. So we hope he is okay. He is sitting on the bench right now on the sideline. It's going to be a handoff to the left side, spinning around, and tackled immediately is Blake Williams for a loss of a few yards there, and it will be fourth down. So up 41-0. I would not expect to see Hunter Gross again, but hopefully he is okay to continue playing in the future, practicing and playing next week. He's had his head down on the sideline for the last few minutes, so we'll have to monitor that and make sure that he is okay. I'll ask head coach Brent Walk after the game the status of Hunter Gross, make sure that he is okay. Back to pass, looking on 4th and 10, throwing it to the right side. It is incomplete. 2 Thermopolis wide receivers came together, and neither of them could wrangle it in, and that's a turnover on downs for Thermopolis. Ball at their own 49-yard line. So Mountain View almost at midfield here, 49 yards away from the end zone. Up 41-0 with 10:31 to go in the fourth quarter. They'll make some substitutions, but still in the game is Kimball Madsen, Braden Blomel. Braden Walk on the far side out at wide receiver. Glenrock and Big Piney might have been scouting this game, and if they were scouting it, they'll see a lot of offense from Mountain View. They lead 41-0 en route to a first-round state playoff victory. Glen Rock and Big Piney will play tonight. So in Glen Rock and Big Piney, the winner will know immediately who they're playing. They'll know before the game starts who they're playing. But obviously for both of those teams, it's all about winning that first game. Much easier for Mountain View, knowing that they can just sit back and watch, maybe hope that those teams beat each other up and wear each other down for their next week's matchup. It's going to be a handoff to the left side. Brigham Blumel trying to cut up the field. He does, and he is slippery. Might have some grease on him, some butter, as he just snuck through everybody. A huge pile of about 7 guys from Thermopolis, and then you just see Brigham Blumel just go like a ghost, like a Halloween ghost, just go right through him, and he gets a first down. Gain of about 10 yards there on third down. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. 9:30 and running away here is the clock. Madsen direct snap. He's going to keep it to the right side, trying to get around the outside, and he's going to take another hit, but not before picking up about 3 yards there on first down. So, and there it is. That is the final play of offense for the Mountain View starting lineup. They make a whole substitution line change, hockey style, as a second-team offense comes in. There is not one starter back on the field for Mountain View. And now in at quarterback for the first time is Gus Allred, the sophomore at quarterback. 6'2" sophomore. And Gus Allred will probably get the reins at quarterback, not next year, but the year after, when both Braden Walk and Kimball Madsen have graduated. It's going to be a direct snap to the left side. Flipping head over heels there. That was number 21, Bryson Walker, the sophomore, running back. And he's about a yard short, but the clock will continue to run. Maybe pleasing some of these fans in the cold. 41-0, 8:20 and counting. Mountain View not necessarily waiting until the play clock runs out to snap the ball, as they kind of now do wait, as I say that. Bryson Walker in the backfield, just kind of waiting next to Gus Allred, and he does snap it. Allred's going to keep it. He's going to run it straight up the middle on a 3rd and 1. Did he get a first down? We'll have to look at the spot here. And it's going to be a first down. So a first down from Mountain View inside the 30-yard line. That's where he needed to go, and he probably got it by maybe the tip of the football there. 41-0, 7:50 and counting here. Ball at the Thermopolis 29-yard line, 1st and 10. So the Thermopolis defense trying to hold strong here, trying to keep Mountain View under 50 points. Mountain View leads 41-0. Mountain View has now taken out all of their starters on offense in a ceremoniously fashionable way after a first down play. The entire offensive line, wide receivers, and quarterbacks came to the sideline, and a whole new group came in for Mountain View. So a good time to get some of these younger players in, these more inexperienced players, some real playing time, especially in a state playoff game. Not everyone can say that they've played in one of those. So certainly good for some of these players like Gus Allred, a sophomore, who has a bright future ahead of him as quarterback of this program. Maybe next year, the year after that, he'll be a senior. He'll most likely get the starting reins under the quarterback position. And that's going to be a direct handoff up the middle, cutting for about 3 yards there. And it's 3rd down. 3rd and 7 for Mountain View here. $6:25 to go. In the shotgun formation is Mountain View, Gus Allred. And this is going to be a direct snap to the running back. He's going to try to cut it up the right sideline, and huge hit there from Thermopolis. Bryson Walker might be feeling some bruises tomorrow after playing for the 4th quarter, playing in the 4th quarter of today's contest.
That'll bring up 4th down and 4 yards to go for the Mountain.
And let's see if Team Pensacola can attempt a field goal here. This is going to be a 43-yard field goal. It's 41-0 with 5:40 to go. This might be the perfect time to see if your freshman kicker, a soccer player, can actually kick a long field goal. We know he can kick it from pretty short, but let's see what kind of range Team Pensacola has. He kicks it, the ball is up, and it is just short. He might have had the distance there, would have been close, but it was off to the left side, and Team Pensacola barely missed a 43-yard field goal. Not every day you see a 40-plus yard field goal in high school, so I think that Brant Walk kind of got his explanation there, kind of got his I wouldn't say explanation, kind of got his answer there. Team Pensacola is probably good within 40 yards there, which is good to know, especially if you're in a state playoff game. A freshman soccer player who's never played football before, who's been with your team all year, but good to know that your freshman kicker has got some moxie in him. 41-0 with 5:23 to go in the 4th quarter. Back to pass. Thermopolis, John Harvey scrambling around, running for his life, and he's going to break up towards the sideline. On that far sideline, it's hard to see exactly how he got that much room, but looked like he was just running in circles, and then all of a sudden he was like, oh, I should go towards the opposite end zone. He broke it upfield for about 13 yards on 1st down, so a 1st down there for Thermopolis after a long run from John Harvey. Probably ran about 40 yards just to get 13 officially. We're under 5 minutes to play here in the opening round game of the 2A state football playoffs, and that's a run up the right side, and breaking across the sideline, he's got one man to beat, and he is pushed out of bounds there. A touchdown saving tackle from Trevor Sweeney to come from all the way across the other side of the field. Just shows you how fast Trevor Sweeney is, just to push number 44. I believe that was Logan Cole, the sophomore running back for Thermopolis. Kind of got room down the sideline. He had a long run there, had one man to beat, and was just pushed out by the smaller Trevor Sweeney. Trevor Sweeney just took the good angle on it, coming from the opposite side of the field. He knew that his only chance was just kind of hit him perpendicularly and push him out of bounds, and that's what he did at about the 20-yard line. So Thermopolis, after a 1st down run, will get it inside the 20 to about the 16-yard line. Another red zone possession here for the Bobcats. Let's see if this one turns out differently than the others have. They are looking for their first points of this contest, trailing 41-0. A little bit more than 4 minutes on the clock, and this can be a handoff to the right side, and gain of a couple more yards there will bring up 3rd and short here for Thermopolis.
They'll bring up 3rd down and 3 yards to go for the Bobcats.
Bobcats looking at a 3rd and 3 here. Trailing by 41, but certainly not quitting, trying to get into the end zone for the first time today. That's Hunter Cole. He's going to cut back to the right side and cut back to his left across the middle of the field. He will get a 1st down. And as we approach 3 minutes to play here in regulation, Hunter Cole desperate to get in the end zone and get in the end zone. He really wants that touchdown. I don't blame him. It's going to be a handoff to the left side. Hunter Cole goes at it again, and he will gain a few more yards there. So 3 minutes to play.
He's tripped up that time by number 6.
Tripped up there by a convoy of defenders. And it'll be 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line for Thermopolis. 2:54 on the clock. And the Bobcats looking at their sideline, trying to determine the play that will get them into the end zone. I'm sure Brent Walk might tell you it didn't mean anything, but I'm sure he's trying to keep this Thermopolis Bobcats team out of the end zone. Right side run, and that's going to be stopped again. So A third down, and stop me if this sounds familiar, a third and short here for Thermopolis from inside the 5-yard line. Just once they got inside the 20, they've just stalled all day long. I believe they've had 4 or 5 now, 5 red zone possessions, and they have not scored on any of them. This can be till fake handoff to the left side, keeper there, and John Harvey is going to be stacked up for a loss of 1 yard there. And again, it's 4th and goal from the 5. So Mountain View, as the clock ticks under 2 minutes to play, probably has one more play on defense. If they can stop them here, they will keep Thermopolis off the board and pitch a shutout. They lead 41-0. Thermopolis trying to get on the board here. And this is going to be a fake handoff to the right side. Rolls out, throws to his right, and it's into the dirt, incomplete. And that's how this one will end. Mercifully for Thermopolis, if I might say. 1:42 on the clock. It is 41-0. Thermopolis just now, Mountain View, just now needs to run the ball a couple times and run out the clock with their second team offense into the game. Once again, Braden Walk was on the field for defense. He trots over to the sideline, and he almost seemed like he was trying to argue, hey, let me take the final snaps of this game at quarterback. He got the first snap, and I don't know if he's taken a snap since then at quarterback. So Braden Walk, another successful day. Kimball Matson, another great effort. And Mountain View is on their way to facing Glen Rock or Big Piney here next week with 1:40 to go in this game. So a handoff up the middle, stacked up for no gain. Just doing some quick math, it's probably going to be 2 more plays in this contest unless Thermopolis calls a timeout, which I don't expect they will. Down 41-0. Ball inside their own 5-yard line. Mountain View just trying not to go backwards here. And 2 more snaps, and this one will be over. Alone in the backfield is all red. Almost getting a Thermopolis Bobcat jump off side. Did not snap the ball. And that's going to be a direct snap up the middle, and he will roll forward for a few yards there and out to the 7-yard line. So with 45 seconds to go, we will have 1 more snap in this game, and the Mountain View Buffaloes will have won this one 41-0. Thank you all for tuning in to MyLocalRadio.com's broadcast. Once again, I'm Sean Bennett. I'm going to go back inside after this one and call some volleyball action. The 3A volleyball regionals will be held all weekend here at Mountain View. I've been calling some games in the morning. I'll head back inside and call the semifinal action. Lyman and I believe Pinedale are headed for the first semifinal. We're still waiting on our teams for the second semifinal. I'll get an update if I can before going in there and check out the scoreboards and such. I know Powell was playing, I believe, Big Piney, and Mountain View was playing Lander to decide that other semifinal, happening at 4 and 5:30 tonight. So if you're interested in watching any volleyball action from the Bridger Valley 3A West regional play, certainly Mountain View volleyball and Lyman hopefully playing tonight. If not, we at least have Lyman in one semifinal, and we'll have another semifinal. So Thermopolis took a timeout, inexplicably, maybe. I don't know if I can say that, but 25 seconds on the clock. Thermopolis took a timeout, so we were waiting for this final snap. And what will end this game, a successful one for Mountain View. This is going to be a direct snap to the right side, run towards the sideline, and he stays inbound, gets a first down, and that's how this one will hopefully end. Crossing my fingers that no more timeouts from Thermopolis. And I think that's how it will end, as the clock will run once again. So Thermopolis falls in this one 41-0. Mountain View the victor. They will wait and watch Glen Rock and Big Piney playing tonight. They will play the winner next week here at Mountain View. Time still to be determined. If I figured that out today, we will determine that on and announce that on mylocalradio.com. So thank you for tuning in. Once again, my name is Sean Bennett, signing off on mylocalradio.com.